So I wanted to do another Civilization video, and I tried to record Civilization 1 gameplay, and it didn't work out. I was like, oh, I can't get this thing to work. It's just not the DOS box thing. But then I kept playing the Civ 1 game, and I kept playing, and I kept playing, and I kept playing. I was like, this is a game from 33 years ago. I'm having to relearn some aspects of it. And yes, it was a little bit kicking my butt, which was a fun thing to have. And I was enjoying it. But how am I can't make a video on it. What? I'm wasting my time playing with this game. I've got work to do. I've got to play a different game. That's the work I have to do. It's fun when your hobby is work. It's not really work. It's still a hobby. I am not living off of this income. I don't have work. I have work to do. But, well, okay, I'll go play Civ 6 because that's the one I have on deck. I could get abandonware versions of Civ 2 and 3, and I could buy Civ 4 on Steam, and I could get Civ 5, but I didn't want to expend that money and time. I want to go straight to something I could jump into, and that's Civ 6. I'm ready to play that. And I started doing Civ 6, and I did a few trial videos, and I was like, this is just not going anywhere. I'm not... Who wants to see another Let's Play with Civ 6? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. Leave it in the comments. And you could also like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you knew this pitch was coming. You just knew it. Why do we even need to say it? So I didn't. I didn't say it. Or did I? Mind games. So I started playing Civ 6. And having just played Civ 1, I realized, whoa, everything that was in Civ 1 is in Civ 6. It's like Civ 1 is this massive amusement park of fun stuff to do with cool map computer games. Okay? And over the years, each iteration has added new rides and tuned up the old ones. So they're more fun to play. And that's why I have Civ 6 up here. Because, one, I can record it. But, two, as I was like, I still want to play my Civ 1 game, but I kind of like my Civ 6 game more. Why? Why do I like it more? It's not because of all the graphics. I mean, yeah, it's pretty to look at, but I was having fun with DOS graphics in Civ 1. The engagement of the game is what got me in Civ 1. And the engagement of the game is what gets me in Civ 6 because there's more to do here. Like I said, it's that amusement park and they've added rides. There's so many more things I could do in Civ 6. I've got unbundled cities. I got to figure out where my districts are going to go. I've got things I could do with I got mods. I've got all kinds of things that make it wild to go with. And there's the sun and clouds moving right outside and it's all nuts. It's just like that. And so don't worry about my lighting because, hey, you know what? I'm happy to play Civ 1, which has got some of the most basic of graphics. And, you know, I'm humbled by the sun here. So... But Civ 6 has got all that and more. Everything that's in Civ 1 was in Civ 2. You could make one of these little nesting songs like the 12 Days of Christmas or the green grass grows all around. And in Civ 1 there was 4X and we all had a real good time. In Civ 2 they added stuff and then there was the old 4X and then we had a real good time. And you go up to Civ 7 and in Civ 7 there were unbundled cities and there were some city-states and then there was a cultural victory and there was something whatever they had in Civ 3 and there was some stuff from Civ 2 and then there was the old 4X and we had a real good time. If that becomes a clip somewhere, please give me a chance to rewrite the lyrics. This is just improv. This is just a jam session. We're not really laying down these tracks for an album. But everything that's in every other version of Civ is in Civ 6. And what's going to be in Civ 7? All of this and more. Because Sid Meier's philosophy is add another ride. You add something else that's going to be fun. Don't just sit on top of your mechanics and go, well, maybe we could just rearrange them and then sell it all again? Paradox. Did that sound like words? Sometimes my cough sounds like words. Sid Meier will say, look, yeah, we're going to take everything and maybe twist it a little bit, but let's add something else that is fun to the game. And the unbundled cities are definitely fun. What's in Civ 7? I don't know yet, but it will be fun. And maybe it'll take some tuning, and maybe they'll have something that all the AAA games. Oh, a AAA game is never released in a finished state. It should be early access. Okay, yeah, I get all that, and I'm one of the guys that says that too. City Skylines 2. Did that sound like words again? Anyway, but Civ 6, for whatever its issues were, and there do be some issues with Civ 6 because Civ 5 was very popular for 3 years. That sun is really glaring. Are people going to watch this for the Civ 6 discussion, or are they going to watch it for the fight between me and the sun? I don't know. But, yeah, it took 3 years before Civ 6 popularity exceeded Civ 5 popularity on Steam. Just measuring concurrent players. There were a lot of things that had to be worked out with it. But after that little inflection point, Civ 6 took off, and wow, it is more popular now than Civ 5 ever was. So Civ 7 is going to have to top Civ 6. And it may take a few years for Civ 7 to top Civ 6. And you'll have people going like, oh, I prefer Civ 6 to Civ 7. I definitely prefer Civ 5 to Civ 7. And that's you. And you know what? That is you. You are free to enjoy these games. Like I said, I'm really enjoying that Civ 1 game. When I'm done with this, I might go back to the Civ 1 game, even though I do need to take care of, I'm trying to convert people. Anyway, but yeah, I've got stuff to do in my Civ 1 game. And it's okay to have fun in old games, especially in the Civ series. There is lots to do in all of them. They're all very engaging, except maybe Civ 3, but they're all great. And if I gotta, I'm in danger if I get Civ 2 brought back to life, because what if I find those old files I had on my 486 and I put those mods back in there, and I could do my Texas one again. I had a big Texas one. It was wild, man. I had tent meetings and all that. Instead of temples, I had tent meetings, and yeah. Civ 7 is going to be a giant amusement park. Civ 1 was a small amusement park, and it's grown over time. And Civ 7 is going to add one more ride, and it's going to fit in with all the other rides, and it's going to be great. Sid Meier knows what he's been doing ever since he first started at Micro Prose with Railroad Tycoon. Sid Meier's been churning out quality product. I mean that. I really do mean that. He knows what he's doing. This is not the first sequel he's ever done. This is going to be the, 2, 4, 5, 6, the sixth sequel, because it's Civ 7. Oh yeah, 7 minus 1 equals 6. Sixth sequel. He knows what he's doing. The team knows what they're doing. They know what they have in front of them, and they're going to get it done. If you want to see what I'm doing in my game right now, well, why don't we take a look at everything we have here, and can we imagine what else to do? I would love to, but my imagination is not going to be the equal of someone who's spending their full-time job on imagining what to do. But maybe some of the things that they can shine up on these little amusement rides might help out. The number one thing they need to work is fix multiplayer. Desyncing is not cool, bro. And when it happens every single turn, it's a killer. Get it to where the multiplayer games don't desync. Figure out how you're going to share that information. Maybe go back to the Civ 1 idea where everything was followed a turn schedule. You remember that? Because it came out of old tabletop war games where you had a set of rules, and it was I go, you go, I go, you go. Every player would make all their moves, and they would do their moves in a particular sequence. You couldn't do your supply check and then move and then fight, and then you have your supply check status change before the fight. No, you did your supply check. Are you in supply or out of supply? In supply, great. Move and fight normally. Out of supply, no. You can't move back into supply and then fight. Things like you had sequences in your turn. Do that with multiplayer. Yes, everybody is submitting, doing their moves at the same time, because it's a killer to have to wait for the guy sitting next to you to click through everything, and then it's bad enough you have to say, "Come on, hurry up!" I've already done all my moves. Finish yours. but have it be where once you hit the submit button, then it all goes in. You just share data in one big lump. You don't see it on your screen until after it's been executed with all the other players. Let's look at that. Let's look at ways we could do multiplayer better. The second thing would be actually map generation. Somehow in Civilization 1, I really like the map generation there. I feel like I got better maps out of there. Like here, I'll get maps that, like, continents are just clunk. Here's a continent. Then there's some water. Then clunk. There's another continent. In Civilization 1, there were much different values going on or something like that. And I didn't just get clunk, space, clunk. It was, they just have, the maps have a different aesthetic to them. And I like that. Maybe we could go back. Well, wow, this is the second thing I said going back to Civ 1 that I want to see in Civ 7. let's look at the turn sequence for multiplayer, see if we can fix it that way, and can we get some better maps, or like more creative continent generation? And maybe we can. I mean, we do actually have artificial intelligence. Maybe we could just do better with our random number seeds and things like that. That would be great. That would really be great. Just to have more fun continents, I guess, or more fun shapes. That's what I like. Yeah. What else do we got going on here that could be using a tuner or two? One thing that mods give us is the ability to actually turn off game systems, like spies. I do not like what they're doing in Civ 6. I do not. I had them in all the other Civs, and they were nuisances. I agree. You know, oh no, you destroyed my production. But then coming in and suddenly looting my entire treasury, like really. In Civ 1, they had these big disasters that would wipe out half your empire that could come up later in the game, and the response to that was players would just reload a save and hope that they didn't hit that disaster in the next round of random numbers. And what have I done in Civ 6? I found a mod that turns spies off because I just felt like, no, it's just wrong. And that kills it for a number of civilizations. If they can't spy, then like, well, gosh, that's all their special powers got built around that. You know, we can give them something in compensation. But being able to turn off different systems, being able to say, you know what, I don't want to have this going on. And honestly, I'm kind of glad Civilization 6 does pollution differently. It's now put out into the air. I don't have to actually send people out to go and clean up pollution when there is pollution, because we also have limited charges on all our builders and stuff like that. But I like not having to do that, because that was something I tried to turn off in other versions of Civ when I got the mods. Like, just knock the pollution down to nothing. I don't want to have to go through and clean everything. So actually having that in our choices and options, just like you can turn on barbarians or turn them off. Have other systems. If you just don't want them on, you don't have to have them on. They are a part of the game, but this is not a simulation. It's just something where you add things in to make it more fun. And if something's not fun for you, then let us turn it off. So let's have more toggle switches in the options. The ones we have are great. Add more, add more, add more. What about the civilizations? Yeah, we've got loads of them, but what if, and hear me out, let's take a page from the game Old World, which was also designed by Civilization team, and I wish it had more traction on the old YouTube, because it is a fun game to play, Old World. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And why is it fun? Because I start with a ruler, and then that ruler changes over the course of the game. Now, Humankind also does that, where you start with a civilization, and then you can like bend it in different ways. I would like to see some mechanics that allow me to bend my civilization over time. Or I could say, hey, I'd like to do more of this or more of that. And maybe I start with the civilization that I'm already comfortable with, and I can just bend into more of a direction than it's already in. That could be a thing. Or just after a certain point, I want to swap out my swap out my Cleopatra for Ramses, and then swap Ramses out for some other Egyptian leader. I don't know. But being able to change them around. Or maybe have leaders that go with different eras. Ooh, hey, yeah. So in the ancient era, your nation gets this leader, but then in the medieval era, oh, you get this other leader, and then in the modern era, you got this guy. That may not be easy to do for everyone because some civilizations didn't last to the modern days, Roman Empire. But hey, it's something. It's an idea. It's an idea. And certainly having all the different collections that they have, that's fun to have. But maybe something where we can change leaders over time, or because we can do that in some way with the governors that we have, where you could say let's put this kind of focus on this city and this kind of focus on that city. What if we have a certain kind of leader for the beginning that is really good for the early game, and then we have to make a decision, when do we swap the leader for something that's better for the mid game? When does our mid game begin? And then when does our end game begin? And then we get a leader for that. And speaking of the end game, I'm on turn 56 out of 500. Do you know why there's so many people who are trying for a sub 100 or sub 200 victory? Because if you finish your game before 200 turns is up, you don't have severe end game lag. And we didn't have that issue in Civ 1 and Civ 2. Or we did have it, but it was in city management. It's just like, oh my gosh, I got to click through all these. I got to just keep clicking. It's the same thing every time. And then they introduce construction queues. Like, great. But then I wind up just, and then like, okay, just make extra gold. If you don't want to make anything, just have them make gold or science or whatever. Just leave me alone. And I actually like that, where I could just leave a city alone. Civ 6 makes it where you have to keep queuing up those end game projects, and it gets painful. I just want to say, look, guys, just clunk. Leave it on this project and just keep going. Just keep going. I would love that. Something to clean up the end game. And maybe it's a matter of also having the ability to hit a button that's going to take all the stuff that's built up in the save game file and just clean it to where the game will run faster. Yes, you'll still have a large number of units, but maybe if we clean out some other stuff that the game has been keeping track of, write it to a file, and when we show the graphs at the end of the game, bring that file up again, but do something to clean up the end game so it won't drag so badly that because if it goes better, it's more fun, and we want that out of a Civ game. We want more fun. But really, I mean, everything else, I keep playing it. It must be fun. And yeah, I made some complaints, but overall I can't complain. Yes, I can complain, but overall I can't, because it's a really cool amusement park. I don't know what new will be in there, and I hope that they do some things to fix up the other stuff, and I think they will. Given how you see what was in an earlier version and how it gets tuned up in a later version, I do expect good things to happen to Civ 6 in my Civ 7. It may take a few years, because that's just how things go these days, it seems. But it's going to be, overall, I think, some fun. Oh, yeah, the map builder. You got to do something with the map builder. It's, yeah, make it a better map builder, please. Because I like building maps. I do. It's one of my favorite things out of City Skylines is, oh, look at that map. Oh, I made a beautiful map. Look at that map. I like to make a beautiful map in Civ 7 and have it actually work and play, and not have it be like, hey, wait a minute, I put all these rivers and floodplains in. How come they're not floodplaining? How come they're not rivering? Oh, because there's a bug in the map builder, see? No, I don't want that. Give me a good map builder. Now, if I use the map builder to make really cool maps for the whole gang, or if I use it to make one where I specifically start in a certain location and everything works the exact same way I want, and it's surrounded by mountains so nobody messes with me, hey, that's fun. Let me build that map so I can have that particular fun experience and get it out of my system. Just asking. Different modes. And I'd say one other thing that would be really cool to consider would be if they had just a non-violent mode. All I do is build, grow, and there's no military conflict. No fighting. That would be really relaxing. Then yeah, then it becomes more of a sliding block puzzle, and the competitions become more social, and like you could still flip cities because they like your economy better or they like your culture better or both, but have it be where there's just no combat at all. I would like that. I would like that. But whatever it is, Civilization is an amusement park. It's an amusement park you load on your computer, and when you buy the new version, you buy access to the new rides they've added and the updated old rides. But if you want to go back and remember the way they used to be when you were a kid or in your 20s, in my case, you can still find those abandonware civilizations and have fun with those. Anyway, I hope you have fun with your Civ game. I hope you have fun playing around. This has been me with 21 minutes fighting the sun with a still image, and I've had fun talking about it because Civilization really is a great game to play. Hope everything works out for you, and you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.